Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, puzzled and even a little hurt, wondering why she never reaches out first, despite knowing she likes you? Her silence isn't just confusing, it's maddening. Is it a deliberate move, part of an intricate emotional game, or something deeper, rooted in psychology and instinct? This isn't merely a question about love. It's a dive into the intersection of female psychology and the societal norms that have shaped her behavior. Women, with their enigmatic allure and subtle complexity, often leave men grasping for answers. But what if her silence isn't meant to frustrate you, but rather to reflect something much more profound? In this video, we're peeling back the layers to uncover 18 reasons why she stays silent even when her heart says otherwise. We'll explore a psychological tapestry woven with instinct, vulnerability, and deeply ingrained norms. More importantly, you'll learn how to approach this situation with the calm strength of Stoic philosophy, understanding her silence, respecting her boundaries, and responding with grace and confidence. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll uncover isn't just why she acts this way, but how this knowledge can help you become a better, more composed version of yourself. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to Victory Stoic to keep growing on this journey. And comment with the words, "I choose clarity and confidence," to affirm your commitment to understanding and self-mastery. Number 1, she fears getting hurt again. She's the kind of woman who enters a room and effortlessly commands attention. Her elegance isn't just in her appearance, it's in the way she speaks, the way she listens, and the way her laughter carries a hint of mystery. But beneath that poised exterior lies a story she rarely shares, one etched with scars from a love that once promised forever but ended in fragments. This woman has been through a broken marriage. Perhaps she gave her all, her time, her trust, her heart, only to watch it unravel. The person she once trusted to guard her soul instead left it exposed, vulnerable to the winds of disappointment and betrayal. So now, even as her heart flutters at the thought of you, her mind steps in, erecting walls that seem impenetrable. Psychology tells us that pain from the past often becomes the blueprint for our future defenses. She's built an emotional fortress, not because she doesn't feel, but because she feels too much. To her, silence isn't apathy, it's self-preservation. By not reaching out, she avoids the possibility of repeating history, of opening herself up to love only to face abandonment again. Imagine this. You've noticed how her eyes light up when she sees you, the subtle ways she leans in when you speak. Yet, the moment you take a step closer, she pulls away, not physically, but emotionally. It's like trying to embrace the ocean. It's vast, beautiful, and always just out of reach. One evening, over a quiet conversation, she might reveal fragments of her story. She might tell you about the late nights spent alone after her husband walked away, or the way she doubted her worth when her love was no longer enough. She'll admit she's drawn to you, but stops short of letting that affection take root. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them." Her past pain doesn't dictate her present, it's her fear of that pain returning. And for you, understanding this fear is key. You can't force her walls down, but you can honor them, showing her that trust doesn't have to mean vulnerability without boundaries. How to approach this? Instead of pushing her for immediate openness, let her set the pace. Patience, paired with consistency, becomes your strongest ally. Show her through your actions, not just your words, that you're not here to repeat her past, but to build something new, something steady. Her silence isn't rejection, it's a testament to the depth of what she feels and fears. If you truly want to connect with her, you must be willing to embrace her complexities without judgment or impatience. Because within those walls she's built lies a heart that, once it feels safe, loves with a strength forged from the fires of its past. Number 2, she's testing you. Picture this, a noble knight standing before a towering castle. Inside, a princess waits, not for rescue, but for proof. She's no damsel in distress, she's a queen in her own right, guarding her heart like the most precious of treasures. Around her fortress are obstacles, walls of silence, moats of uncertainty, and dragons of doubt. The knight, if he is worthy, must navigate these trials with courage, patience, and unwavering resolve. Her silence is not cruelty, it's a test. She's seen too many false knights in shining armor, those who charge forward with loud declarations but retreat at the first sign of resistance. She's not interested in fleeting bravado. She wants someone who will not only fight the dragons but stand beside her as an equal when the battle is over. In the realm of relationships, testing is not uncommon. Psychologically, it's a way to measure someone's intentions and resilience. For her, silence is a gauge. It reveals who you are when faced with uncertainty, whether you're the kind to persist with patience or abandon the quest at the first challenge. This isn't manipulation. It's a safeguard, born from experience and a deep desire for authenticity. She's searching for someone who will respect her boundaries while proving their willingness to cross the metaphorical moat. Imagine a man who meets a woman of strength and mystery. She speaks little of her heart, but lets her actions hint at what lies within. When he reaches out, her responses are slow and measured, not because she doesn't care, but because she's watching, waiting. Will he persist without complaint? Will he falter and blame her for the pace? One evening, he decides not to press, but instead to simply be there. He listens, observes, and builds trust brick by brick. He shows her that his quest isn't driven by ego, but by a genuine desire to know her, to stand beside her, not conquer her. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." Patience is not about waiting passively. It's about proving your steadiness, your strength in the face of delay. The Stoic Knight understands that the journey itself is as important as the prize, and that true worth is shown in how you act, not how quickly you reach the end. How to pass the test. 1. Respond with grace. Her silence isn't a rejection, it's an invitation to show your character. Don't let frustration dictate your actions. 2. Embody patience. Continue to show up consistently. Be the knight who doesn't falter, even when the path is unclear. 3. Value her boundaries. Don't push or demand. Instead, respect her pace while demonstrating your intentions through steady, reliable action. If you navigate the trials with honor, her fortress will begin to open. Not because you stormed the gates, but because you proved yourself worthy. Inside, you'll find not a helpless princess, but a woman of strength, waiting for someone who understands that her silence was not a barrier, but a bridge to something deeper. This is no fairy tale. It's the reality of love built on patience and integrity. And for the knight who dares to take the journey, the reward is a bond forged not in haste, but in the fires of trust and respect. Number 3, she's bound by the pressure of social expectations. Imagine her as a skilled dancer on a grand stage, each step measured and deliberate, performed under the watchful eyes of an invisible audience. Every move she makes is scrutinized, every gesture analyzed, not just by you, but by the echoes of societal norms that have followed her since childhood. These unspoken rules whisper to her, "Be composed, don't reach out first, or you'll seem desperate." It's not about you, it's about the weight of these inherited expectations. Many women grow up navigating a complex web of societal pressures. They are taught that initiating contact could make them appear too forward or diminish their perceived value. Silence then becomes her way of maintaining composure, signaling her worth while protecting her vulnerability. For her, staying silent isn't a sign of indifference. It's a way to balance the fine line between expressing interest and preserving an image society deems acceptable. She might long to reach out, but those ingrained whispers hold her back. Picture this. She sits at her desk, her phone glowing softly with your last message. She wants to reply, to let you know she enjoys talking to you, but then a thought crosses her mind. What if I seem too eager? What if he loses interest because I'm too available? And so, she hesitates, not because she doesn't care, but because years of conditioning have taught her to. This isn't just a story of personal feelings, it's a reflection of how deeply societal norms shape behavior, even in the most personal of interactions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Her silence, driven by societal expectations, is not a rejection or a game. It's a response to a system far bigger than either of you. Your task is not to take it personally, but to respond with patience and understanding. How to navigate this with grace. 1. Don't overanalyze her silence. Understand that her hesitancy isn't about you, but about the pressures she's navigating. 2. Be the constant in the noise. Let your actions show her that you value sincerity over societal games. Be consistent and steady, creating a space where she feels safe to express herself. 3. Set the tone. By being respectful and clear in your intentions, you subtly encourage her to move past these societal pressures. Her silence is not a reflection of her feelings, but of the delicate balancing act she's performing. She's a woman torn between the freedom to act and the expectations that demand restraint. By recognizing this, you not only understand her better, but also demonstrate the kind of emotional intelligence that sets you apart. When she sees that you respect her silence without pressuring her, she'll realize that she doesn't need to follow an invisible script around you. In that realization, her hesitancy might just dissolve, replaced by the confidence to meet you halfway. Not because she's expected to, but because she truly wants to. Number 4, she loves the feeling of being pursued. Think of Sarah, your best friend since college. She's smart, confident, and magnetic in her way, but when it comes to relationships, she has a subtle but unmistakable preference. She loves being pursued. Not because she wants to play games, but because being pursued gives her a sense of value, admiration, and most importantly, safety. In American dating culture, the idea of chasing is often glamorized. Movies and TV shows romanticize the image of a man persistently showing his interest until the woman feels secure enough to reciprocate. For many women, this dynamic isn't about control, it's about assurance. Being pursued reassures her that your interest is genuine and that she's someone worth fighting for. Remember how Sarah once told you about her boyfriend, Ethan? She said she knew he was serious about her the moment he started planning thoughtful dates and sending her texts that made her laugh during her busiest workdays. Ethan wasn't overbearing or pushy, but he was intentional. He took the lead, showing her she was a priority. Sarah admitted she could have texted him first many times, but she didn't. Not because she didn't care, but because she loved the feeling of being courted. It made her feel special and valued. She wanted to be certain he was as invested in her as she was in him. This doesn't mean she played hard to get or tested him unnecessarily. For Sarah, allowing Ethan to pursue her was a way of finding confidence in his intentions, while also giving herself time to feel secure. If she likes you but isn't reaching out, it could simply be that she's waiting for you to take the lead. It's not about manipulation, it's about her desire to feel chosen and valued. She may want to see your level of interest and effort, not because she doubts you, but because it's how she builds trust. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Her silence isn't a reason to panic or overthink. It's an opportunity to show your consistency and intention, but always within the bounds of mutual respect. How to approach this? 1. Be intentional without overdoing it. Like Ethan, balance thoughtfulness with respect. A kind text or a well-planned coffee date can go a long way. 2. Respect her space. Pursuit doesn't mean overwhelming her. Pay attention to her responses and adjust accordingly. 3. Maintain your boundaries. While it's natural to pursue someone you like, don't lose sight of your own needs and values in the process. Sarah and Ethan are still together, and it's because their dynamic was built on mutual respect. Ethan showed his interest without pushing her, and Sarah reciprocated once she felt the connection was genuine. She loved being pursued, but what made her stay was how Ethan respected her autonomy and never crossed her boundaries. Her silence might just be her way of inviting you to take the lead. It's not a game, it's her way of seeking reassurance and feeling valued. By pursuing her with intention, respect, and balance, you create a dynamic where both of you can feel secure and appreciated. And when she finally meets you halfway, it won't be out of obligation, but out of genuine affection and trust. Number 5. She's not confident in her emotions yet. Imagine a garden blooming with untamed beauty, vivid colors, fragrant blossoms, yet vines winding in uncertain directions. This garden is her heart, a space where feelings grow, sometimes chaotically. She might admire you, care for you, and even daydream about what could be. But when it comes to her emotions, she isn't entirely sure if she's ready to pick the petals and offer them to you. For many women, emotions are a dance between intuition and analysis. They feel deeply but often hesitate to act until their feelings make sense in the broader context of their lives. It's not that she doesn't like you. It's that she's not sure how much she does or what kind of feelings these are. Is it admiration, infatuation, the beginning of something profound? This uncertainty can hold her back, making her retreat into a space of reflection instead of action. Add to this the societal expectations placed on women, the pressure to choose wisely, to not lead someone on, or to avoid rushing into something they're unsure of. It creates a hesitation, a pause that you might interpret as indifference, but is, in reality, a careful examination of her own heart. Her uncertainty might stem from several factors. 1. Past experiences. If she's been hurt before, she might second-guess her ability to trust her emotions. She questions if this is genuine or just another fleeting feeling that could lead to disappointment. 2. Life's complications. Maybe her career is at a pivotal moment, her family dynamics are demanding, or she's dealing with personal growth. In these cases, adding a relationship to the mix feels overwhelming. 3. The weight of decision. She knows relationships aren't just about attraction. They're about compatibility, shared goals, and the ability to weather storms together. Her silence may simply mean she's trying to determine if you're truly aligned. Think of a woman you know, a friend perhaps, who once hesitated to commit to someone she liked. She'd say things like, "I don't know if I'm ready," or "What if this doesn't work out?" In hindsight, it wasn't about the other person being inadequate. It was about her uncertainty, her need to be sure that her feelings weren't fleeting, and that the risk of opening her heart was worth it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them." Her hesitation isn't a judgment of your worth. It's a reflection of her internal journey. Instead of letting her uncertainty shake your confidence, see it as a reminder to focus on what you can control. Your patience, your actions, and your ability to provide a safe space for her to explore her feelings. How to navigate her uncertainty. 1. Give her time. Don't pressure her into deciding before she's ready. Instead, show that you're willing to let things unfold naturally. 2. Be steady. Consistency in your actions can help her feel secure. If she sees that you're genuine and reliable, her uncertainty may gradually fade. 3. Focus on connection, not answers. Instead of demanding clarity from her, focus on building a bond that makes her want to explore her feelings with you. Her hesitation isn't a flaw. It's part of the intricate beauty of how women often approach relationships. Unlike the impulsive rush to act, she wants to be sure that her emotions are genuine and that you're someone she can trust with her heart. This thoughtful approach might frustrate you in the short term, but in the long run, it lays the foundation for a relationship built on depth and authenticity. When she's ready, when the garden of her heart feels safe to bloom fully, you'll know. And in that moment, her trust, affection, and love will feel all the more profound because she gave them freely, with confidence and clarity. Until then, embrace her process with patience and respect, knowing that great things often take time to grow. Number 6. She doesn't think she's good enough. Picture her as a single mother, balancing the weight of the world on her shoulders. She has a full-time job, school lunches to pack, bills to pay, and a child who looks to her as their entire universe. Her days are long, her nights even longer, and somewhere in between, she dares to imagine love again. But then comes the voice in her mind, quiet yet relentless. Why would he choose me, with all my baggage, when there are so many others who are more, For women who've been hurt in love before, or single mothers navigating a demanding life, this thought isn't uncommon. It's not that she doesn't like you. She might like you so much that the fear of not being enough holds her back. She's seen relationships fail, knows the scars they leave, and worries that if you truly knew her struggles, you might walk away. Low self-esteem can be a silent thief, robbing her of the chance to embrace love, even when it's right in front of her. She sees her imperfections magnified through a lens shaped by past disappointments or the unrelenting demands of being a mother. These are the thoughts that might haunt her. He's so accomplished. Why would he want someone like me? What if he feels burdened by my child? They deserve better. If I let him in, he might see my flaws and leave anyway. It's not that she doubts you, she doubts herself. Instead of risking rejection, she chooses silence, believing it's better to protect herself than to take a chance on something that might not last. Take Melissa, a close friend who raised her son alone after her marriage ended in betrayal. When she met someone kind and genuine, she confessed to you one night, "He's amazing, but I don't think I can give him what he needs. He deserves someone without all this baggage." It wasn't about him, it was about her belief that her past and her circumstances made her less worthy. She wanted to open her heart but couldn't silence the voice telling her she'd only bring complications into his life. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Her belief that she's not enough is an internal struggle, one that you cannot fully control. What you can do is respond with empathy, patience, and understanding, showing her through your actions that she is more than enough. How to help her feel worthy. 1. Reassure without pity. Let her know you value her not despite her challenges, but because of the strength they've given her. Say things like, "I see how much you've accomplished and it inspires me." 2. Be consistent. Actions speak louder than words. By showing up, being present, and engaging with her life, including her child if she's a single mom, you reinforce that she is worth your time and effort. 3. Give her space to open up. Avoid pushing her to share her insecurities. Instead, create a safe, emotional environment where she feels comfortable being vulnerable. Her hesitation to let you in is not a reflection of her lack of affection, but rather a measure of her emotional depth. She wants to give you her best, but fears her best won't be enough. For a woman carrying the dual weight of past heartbreak and the responsibility of a child, the stakes feel impossibly high. If you're willing to stay the course, to show her that you're here for the long haul, she may begin to trust that she's worthy of the love you offer. Her silence will fade, replaced by cautious optimism, and eventually, the confidence to believe in what you're building together. In helping her see her value, you don't just win her heart. You become part of her transformation. And when she finally believes in herself again, her love will be as fierce and enduring as the strength she's carried all along. 7. She worries that you're not serious. Picture her as a woman who's seen it all. The fleeting romances, the empty promises, and the charm that fades as quickly as it appeared. She's not easily swayed by compliments or gestures anymore. For her, words are easy, but consistency is rare. She looks at you with cautious eyes, wondering, are you here because you see me for who I am, or because you're chasing a temporary thrill? This isn't about distrust, it's about discernment. She's learned to protect herself from those who confuse lust with love, attraction with connection. She's not interested in being another checkbox on someone's list. What she craves is depth, authenticity, and the reassurance that she's more than just a fleeting desire. Many women, especially those who value meaningful connections, hesitate when they sense ambiguity. They've learned the hard way that some people pursue with passion, but retreat when things get real. For her, the stakes are high. She's not just opening her heart, she's potentially offering her time, energy, and trust. If she senses you're not serious, she'd rather protect herself by staying silent than risk being hurt. This hesitation often manifests as a form of self-preservation. If you've given mixed signals or haven't communicated your intentions, she may interpret it as a lack of seriousness. And for her, ambiguity is more painful than rejection. Think of Claire, a mutual friend who once confided in you about a man she met. She described him as charming, attentive, and full of compliments. Yet every time they had a meaningful conversation, he'd subtly steer it back to surface-level topics or playful banter. Claire eventually distanced herself. "I didn't feel like he saw me," she said. "It felt like he liked the idea of me more than the reality of who I am." She wanted to be chosen for her soul, not her looks or temporary excitement. Her silence wasn't indifference. It was her way of safeguarding her heart until someone truly worthy came along. Epictetus reminds us, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Actions, not words, will convince her of your seriousness. If she hesitates, it's not an attack on your character. It's a challenge for you to show that your intentions are genuine and aligned with your values. How to reassure her. 1. Be clear about your intentions. Don't let her guess. If you're serious about her, communicate it in both words and actions. Say things like, "I'm not here for games, I see something real with you." 2. Show consistency. Grand gestures are nice, but it's the small, consistent actions that build trust. A thoughtful text, a follow-up on something she mentioned, or simply showing up when you say you will, these things matter. 3. Engage beyond the surface. Talk about her dreams, fears, and the things that make her unique. Show her that you're interested in the person behind the beauty, not just what's on the surface. For her, silence isn't rejection. It's a pause to observe if you're serious about the journey or just intrigued by the chase. She wants to see if you'll take the time to know her, to appreciate her mind and soul, not just her presence. When she feels seen, valued, and understood, her hesitation will fade. She'll begin to trust that you're here for the long haul, not for the fleeting excitement of a romance that's skin deep. And in that trust, she'll open up, offering a connection that's as real and enduring as the effort you've shown. Her silence is not a barrier. It's an invitation. An invitation to step up, to prove that you're not just another passing storm, but the steady anchor she's been waiting for. Number 8, she's distracted by other priorities. Picture her as a woman driven by ambition, passion, and a love for the life she's building. Her days are packed with purpose, her mind alive with ideas, and her heart full of dreams she's chasing. She's not ignoring you, she's simply engrossed in her journey. And this isn't a rejection, it's an invitation for you to focus on your journey as well. This is a woman who values her independence and thrives on self-improvement. She isn't waiting to be saved by love or a relationship. Instead, she's out there creating a life that fulfills her, pouring herself into her career, hobbies, and passions. Her priorities are a reflection of her commitment to becoming the best version of herself. She's deeply involved in things that bring her joy and purpose. But this doesn't mean she doesn't care about you. It means she respects herself enough to ensure her life is whole, with or without anyone else. If she seems distant, it's because she understands one crucial truth. A healthy, meaningful relationship is built between two whole individuals, not two halves seeking completion. Her focus on herself is a reminder for you to do the same. If she hasn't reached out, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's her commitment to her goals. Take this as an opportunity to reflect on your priorities. Are you pursuing the life you've always wanted? Are you growing, thriving, and creating a world that makes you proud? Her silence isn't rejection, it's an echo, urging you to step into your greatness. Think of your friend Josh, who met a woman named Sophia, a brilliant architect with a passion for travel and photography. Sophia was always busy with work and weekend trips, but Josh admired how full her life was. Instead of feeling insecure about her packed schedule, Josh started using his time to invest in himself. He enrolled in an online course, joined a running club, and even started a side project he'd been putting off for years. When Josh and Sophia finally got together, they didn't just share their feelings, they shared their stories of growth. Their relationship thrived because they met as two independent, fulfilled people who inspired each other. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Her dedication to her life is a Stoic reminder for you to focus on your own. Instead of waiting for her attention or overanalyzing her silence, channel your energy into building the best version of yourself. How to navigate this dynamic? 1. Focus on your growth. Use this time to pursue your goals, whether it's advancing your career, developing a new skill, or rediscovering an old passion. 2. Respect her independence. Appreciate her drive and understand that her priorities are part of what makes her unique. 3. Lead by example. Show her that you're equally committed to creating a life of meaning and fulfillment. When you approach her with the same sense of purpose she carries, you create a dynamic that isn't about dependence, but about mutual inspiration. She doesn't want someone to compete with her priorities. She wants someone who has their own. By respecting her journey and committing to your own, you build a relationship based on strength and admiration. And when she sees that you're someone who can match her energy and ambition, she'll open up, not out of obligation, but because she knows you're building something extraordinary together. Her silence isn't a rejection. It's a reminder to rise to your potential. Meet her there, and you'll discover that her priorities aren't barriers. They're the foundation for a partnership that thrives on growth, independence, and shared dreams. Number 9. Fear of misunderstanding or rejection. She hesitates, not because she doesn't like you, but because the fear of misreading your signals feels overwhelming. What if she reaches out and discovers that your interest wasn't what she thought it was? Or worse, what if she missteps and you lose interest altogether? For her, this isn't just about rejection. It's about the humiliation of realizing she may have misunderstood the dynamic between you two. Rejection in this sense isn't always direct. For her, rejection could mean sending a message, only to be met with indifference or a delayed response. It could mean expressing interest, only to find out your feelings aren't as deep as she thought. Imagine her typing out a message, wondering if it's too soon, too eager, or if she's completely misunderstood your actions. Maybe you were just being kind or friendly, and her reaching out would expose a vulnerability she's not ready to confront. The fear of embarrassment, of leaping only to find nothing waiting on the other side, often paralyzes her. For many women, this fear is rooted in past experiences. Perhaps she once expressed interest in someone, only to hear something like, "Oh, I didn't mean it that way," or "I think you're reading too much into this." The sting of such moments lingers, shaping her future interactions. To avoid the possibility of repeating that pain, she opts for silence, waiting for a clearer signal from you. Or maybe she's afraid that her initiative might change how you see her. If she reaches out, will you think she's too forward? Will her enthusiasm turn you off? These uncertainties create an emotional minefield, making silence feel safer than risking a misstep. Take Emily, a coworker who developed feelings for someone at work. She noticed the shared glances, the friendly banter, and the subtle compliments. Convinced there was mutual interest, she finally mustered the courage to ask him to lunch. His response? "Oh, I thought we were just friends." Emily wasn't just hurt. She was mortified. The humiliation of misinterpreting his signals made her swear she'd never be the first to reach out again. So now, even when she likes someone, she waits. Not because she doesn't want to connect, but because the fear of misunderstanding feels too risky. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if someone can refute me, show me I am making a mistake, or look at things the wrong way, I will gladly change. For it is the truth I seek. Her fear of rejection is rooted in assumptions. Some may be true, others may not. Your role is to offer clarity, ensuring she doesn't have to navigate this uncertainty alone. How to create a safe space. 1. Be clear and consistent. Avoid sending mixed signals. If you're interested, let your actions and words align. 2. Acknowledge her courage. If she does reach out, respond warmly. A simple, "I appreciate you reaching out," can reinforce her confidence. 3. Reassure without pressure. Let her know she doesn't need to overthink. Say something like, "I enjoy hearing from you, anytime." It reduces her fear of missteps. Her silence isn't indifference, it's self-preservation. She's guarding herself against the possibility of embarrassment or discovering that she's misread your feelings. By creating a space where she feels valued and safe from judgment, you encourage her to take small steps toward opening up. Her fear of misunderstanding isn't a reflection of her weakness. It's proof of how deeply she values the connection she feels. When she finally does reach out, it'll be because she trusts that her vulnerability will be met with kindness, not rejection. And that trust, built carefully and patiently, is the foundation for something real and lasting. Number 10. She doesn't want to lose emotional power. Imagine a fortress perched on a hill, unyielding. Inside, she guards her heart with care, knowing that opening the gates too soon could leave her vulnerable. For her, silence isn't about disinterest, it's about maintaining the balance of emotional safety. She's seen what happens when vulnerability is given too quickly, and she's determined not to lose control of the delicate dance of emotions. This isn't manipulation, it's self-preservation. She's cautious, not because she doubts you, but because she values her independence and dignity. And in this moment, you have an opportunity to be her shield, stepping into the uncertain waters while she finds her footing. In relationships, emotional power often feels like a scale, where one person risks more and the other holds back. For her, the idea of reaching out first or showing too much interest can feel like losing control over her sense of self. Silence is her way of observing, ensuring that the relationship develops at a pace where she feels safe. This dynamic often comes from past experiences. Maybe she gave too much too soon in another relationship, and felt the sting of regret when her vulnerability wasn't matched. Now she holds back, not to play games, but to ensure she's not left emotionally exposed. Think of Jessica, a woman you know who went through a painful breakup. In her last relationship, she loved deeply, gave freely, and initiated much of the emotional connection. But when things fell apart, she was left wondering if her efforts had been taken for granted. Since then, Jessica hesitates. She's not cold or distant, she's careful. When she met Mark, she admired his consistency and warmth, but she still struggled to make the first move. Mark, however, didn't take her hesitation personally. Instead, he chose to lead with confidence, showing her through his actions that he wasn't here to take advantage of her trust, but to build it. Over time, Jessica felt safe enough to meet him halfway. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." A Stoic man understands that relationships aren't about keeping score. If you want her to feel safe enough to open up, you must be generous, not just with your time and actions, but with your emotional patience. How to approach this with generosity? 1. Be the safe harbor. Allow her the emotional space to feel secure. Instead of demanding immediate reciprocity, focus on creating an environment where trust can grow naturally. 2. Take the lead with confidence. Pursue her with intention and respect, showing her that you're serious about the connection. Your consistency will speak louder than any words. 3. Stay steady in the unknown. Don't let her silence unsettle you. Maintain your calm, knowing that your role is to step into uncertainty with strength and composure. For a woman guarding her emotional power, the fear of losing herself in a relationship is real. By stepping into the danger zone of vulnerability, you demonstrate that you're willing to take on the risks she's hesitant to face. Your generosity, of spirit, patience, and effort, becomes a gift that reassures her. This isn't about sacrifice or imbalance. It's about understanding that sometimes love requires you to offer safety before asking for it in return. She doesn't want to lose her sense of control, and that's okay. Your role is not to push her, but to create a space where she feels confident enough to let go of her fears. When you approach her with the humility to lead and the patience to wait, you show her that emotional power isn't something to guard, it's something to share. And when she finally opens up, it won't be because she had to. It'll be because she chose to. Knowing that you've proven yourself as someone worthy of standing in the storm while she finds her strength. This is the kind of foundation where trust, respect, and love truly flourish. Number 11. She's waiting for you to prove your masculinity. Imagine the sun, a blazing sphere of power and consistency, rising every morning without fail. Imagine the lion, king of the savannah, unyielding in its strength yet calm in its demeanor. Together, they embody the essence of masculinity: light that nurtures, strength that commands respect, and presence that reassures. She isn't ignoring you. She's waiting for you to step into this role, to let your masculinity radiate like the sun and roar like the lion. For her, it's not about dominance or control. It's about showing her that you're steady, intentional, and capable of leading with both strength and grace. She's not asking for perfection. She's looking for proof of effort, resilience, and a willingness to embrace your role as someone who brings stability and warmth to her life. Women admire men who carry themselves with quiet confidence, who shine through their actions rather than boast through their words. She's not testing you to be cruel or manipulative. She's observing how you handle challenges and whether you'll falter under pressure. Think of masculinity as the sun. The sun doesn't need to shout to assert its presence. It simply shines, unwavering and unyielding, providing life and light. Similarly, she's waiting to see if you'll rise to the occasion with the same consistency, illuminating the path forward with your actions, not empty promises. Her hesitation is rooted in a deep desire for safety and trust. In her experience, words can be fleeting, but actions reveal true intentions. She wants to know, will you persevere when things get tough? Are you someone she can rely on like the sun that rises every day? Can you balance your strength with kindness like the lion that roars yet protects its pride? She isn't keeping you at arm's length to toy with you. She's waiting to see if you can offer the steady presence and emotional security she needs. Picture Anna, a fiercely independent woman who values her freedom, but but secretly longs for a partner she can trust. When she met Michael, she didn't open up immediately. Instead, she observed how he navigated their early conversations and challenges. Michael didn't overwhelm her with grand gestures or cling to her attention. Instead, he consistently showed up, listened, and made thoughtful efforts to connect. One day, she told you, "He didn't try to impress me with words. He showed me with his actions that he's someone I can lean on." Marcus Aurelius said, "Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." Masculinity, in its purest form, is about being unwavering in the face of life's uncertainties. She's waiting for you to embody this steadiness, not through force, but through quiet strength. How to prove your masculinity. 1. Be consistent, like the sun. Show up in her life with reliability and warmth. Let your actions reassure her of your steadiness. 2. Be strong like the lion. Face challenges with courage and calmness. Let her see that you can protect and support them without overpowering them. 3. Balance strength with compassion. True masculinity is about leading with kindness and understanding. Showing her that she can trust you with her vulnerability. For her, masculinity isn't about bravado or control. It's about providing a safe space where she can trust and thrive. She's not asking you to be perfect, but to show her that your light won't dim and your strength won't waver when the relationship demands effort. She isn't keeping her distance because she doubts you. She's waiting to see if your masculinity can match her femininity, if you can be the sun to her world and the lion who stands by her with unwavering loyalty. When you embody these qualities, you're not just proving yourself to her. You're stepping into a version of yourself that radiates confidence, power, and purpose. She's not challenging you to push you away. She's waiting for you to rise to your potential, to show her that you're a man who doesn't just talk about shining, but truly knows how to light the way. Closing. You cannot control her thoughts or actions, but you can always control how you perceive and respond to her silence. Her lack of contact isn't necessarily a rejection. It could be a reflection of her fears, her priorities, or her boundaries. This silence, however, holds a deeper opportunity for you to step back, refocus, and grow. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Instead of allowing her distance to shake your confidence or create doubt, use this moment as a gift. It's a chance to cultivate your resilience, deepen your sense of purpose, and truly understand that your worth is never determined by someone else's actions. In the context of today's topic, why she never contacts you even though she likes you, Stoicism, this principle becomes even more powerful. Her silence could stem from societal norms, fear of rejection, or even her need to feel emotionally safe. But none of these factors diminish your ability to remain strong, steady, and true to yourself. Let this time be one of reflection and self-discovery. Build your foundation, invest in your passions, and show through your actions, not words, that you are a man of depth and purpose. Be grateful for this moment of quiet. It allows you to find clarity, master your emotions, and approach every connection with wisdom and strength. Remember, as Epictetus taught, he who is not master of himself is master of nothing. Your role isn't to chase approval, but to shine brightly with confidence and authenticity, drawing the right people into your life by the sheer force of your groundedness. If this insight resonates with you, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to Victory Stoic to continue this journey of understanding and empowerment. Leave a comment with the words, "I choose clarity and confidence," to affirm your commitment to growth and resilience. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, your worth lies not in someone else's reaction, but in your ability to build a life of purpose and meaning. Stay strong and stay focused, and I'll see you in the next video. Let this be the start of a brighter, bolder chapter in your story.